It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
The biggest show on the radio. Mason in Ireland on 710.
I got something stuck in my teeth that's driving me crazy. Anybody got floss? I mean, isn't flossing in public a little gross?
Yeah.
Monday at 1 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Every year across America, a staggering 4.2 million youth are homeless or trafficked. Covenant House is the national leader providing safe housing for youth, 50 years strong. Help us fight youth homelessness. Go to covenanthouse.org.
KSPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. When I watch Kyrie Irving play, he is like a gift from the basketball gods, man.
Disgruntled in Brooklyn and now headed to the Mavericks. Sunday afternoon, the Nets are dealing Kyrie Irving to Dallas.
Kyrie, balling like I'm Kyrie.
You ever heard of the word selfish? This is who Kyrie is. Like, he is a guy that is unpredictable. It's going to be Kyrie Irving, the distraction. Kyrie Irving, the headache.
I crush it, and break it. And he's going to a team, a guy in Luka. How much of a challenge is that going to be for the Dallas Mavericks to get those two to be able to play off each other?
We're really just on Kevin Durant watch now, right?
Kyrie, Kyrie, balling like I'm Kyrie, Kyrie.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio, Sirius XM Channel 80, the ESPN app, ESPN 2 till 8 a.m., ESPNU all 4 hours. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Good morning, guys. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, J. Will and Max, to you. Yes, it is a new day.
What a day.
In a new week.
What a weekend.
And a lot of different things happen in 24 hours. And we're going to talk about it on our show this morning. Max, you can go right ahead because I know your lips are ready to go.
This
was watching the Grammys last night.
This whole bag.
Yeah. Listen,
I wasn't quite watching the Grammys, but we'll get into that later on.
Yeah.
I don't watch award shows, but I missed the whole Jay-Z thing. It kills me. And I was looking for it this morning when I read about it online. I'm like, I can't find the video anywhere.
No, I saw it because my boy sent me to he taped it off his TV and he sent it to me. It's pretty cool. I mean, how the whole it was right.
Jay really doesn't perform anymore. Every now and then he just has to remind people, listen.
Let me show you.
Damn, how long you been doing that, man? Been in the mute a long time, huh?
Long time. So this Kyrie stuff breaks on Friday, right before this just ends. So that, throw out the rundown, right? You're editing for an hour and then you're like, all right, throw out the rundown. We're talking Kyrie. And now,
my phone starts blowing up. Tom DeCourty. I'm like, why is Tom DeCourty calling me so?
Yeah, I saw Jay make a fake appearance, and the reason it was a fake appearance,
I was in Louisville doing a game
because it really wasn't. It was him, but it was a little fake picture with the turtleneck on.
As much as I talk about the two of you on that TV show, I quote you. As Key says, as I say Keyshawn Johnson sometimes, because as Jay was talking about, hey guys, why don't you crickets? Hey Jay, why don't you crickets?
I picked up the phone.
I was getting ready to hop on a plane at the time, and I saw Jay's mugshot.
Yeah,
and he was talking about Kyrie. I couldn't hear it though.
Yeah, I got.
So Jay's going to tell me today.
I got all your texts.
He's going to repeat everything that he said on Friday today.
No, you know why? Because back then that was just a trade request. He's been traded since then.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was the trade request.
That's right. Made those kind of waves. He's been traded since then, not to the Lakers. And then you think maybe not to the Clippers. He ain't going to L.A. He's going to the Mavericks. Jay, they're sending Dorian Finney-Smith, nice 3-and-D player. Spencer Dinwiddie, nice player. Unprotected 2029 first-round pick.
Wait, Max, you mean Spencer
Dinwiddie that was originally on.
Yeah, and who played well for the Nets
for 5 years. Okay,
who played well for the Nets.
Yep.
A first-round pick and 2 seconds in 2027 and 2029 for Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris. Now, Nick Friedel, ESPN Nets reporter on game day, he's going to join us in studio at 8:45. Talked about why this move is better for the Nets in the long run.
The drama had become too overwhelming. And as far as Brooklyn's concerned, to get away from Kyrie, to get assets in return, there's a familiarity with Dinwiddie having been here a few years back. They still hope they can win. But the reality is you can't replace Kyrie Irving. For all the drama he causes, he is an incredible player still. So as far as a title is concerned, I don't think that is a reality for this Brooklyn team anymore. But for the health of the franchise, I think they're in a better place now.
There is so much to get into here, Key. Jay, we could talk about I get from Dallas's point of view, when you have a chance to get a singular talent, you already have another one. Oh, but how's it going to work? You figure that out later. Go get the blue chipper when you can get it. That's what they do. I get it from their point of view. Then there's the Nets' point of view and Kyrie's point of view. Makes sense. Makes sense of
Which
this
one? Which POV do you want to hear first?
What is your headline? What's the thing you think people have to understand first?
This was because Key, I don't know where to start. I mean, literally, the last 3 days.
Well, okay, here's where I want you to start, Jay. Okay. Why did this happen?
It was a very tumultuous relationship. Like it was. Key, have you ever had one of those relationships or seen them with your friend where it's so sporadic and so back and forth? And there's no trust at all that it's inevitable. It wasn't going to work. But both sides keep trying to make it work. And you're like, but this ain't going to work, y'all. Everybody else sees it. But y'all the ones. You know what I'm talking about,
I'm on my second marriage, Jay.
You're fighting for, look, I'm going to give you the root of it. So, and this is from my sources. When KD goes down and he gets hurt, and people around Kyrie have been trying to create conversations with management about his extension. And when an extension gets offered, a 3-year extension, $140+ million, but when that third year of the extension is based off the team winning a championship, for him to get his money, can't do it. Relationship is broken. It's done. Snap. It's never coming back. Sources have told me that his camp has been trying to get this extension for a long time now, even back to the pandemic, when it got offered to him, hey, you can sign this extension. We'll give you the money if you take the shot. Kyrie walked away. I don't feel comfortable right now taking this shot. I've told you there are other players in the NBA that have not gotten the vaccine. They have not been lambasted the way I have because of the city mandate. It feels like they have become...
Slow down. So there was a mandate in New York City that you couldn't, what was it, perform in certain places.
Even though he lived in New Jersey, if you were an employee of
in New York City, then you had to get vaccinated.
Which was erroneous, by the way, because players could come into the city and play who weren't vaccinated.
But
they weren't an employee of the state.
Right, an employee in the state. Yeah, right.
In the state or the city, for that matter.
Kyrie, whatever you think about that, Kyrie thought, wait a minute, just because I happen to play here, I'm being singled out. It's becoming a news item. Players who play in other areas who don't have that law get to slide, under the radar, right?
Mm-hmm. So he became the face of the unvaccinated players. Hence, walked away from the money, Key. You know what?
I understand. Okay. You should have had this news back then.
Things come out. And it's like, all right, well, that's first part of contract negotiations.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't happen. Okay.
By the way, you did have this back then. You talked about
I did.
This back
I
then.
said it on this show. Yeah. It's just when people listen, that's when they hear it. So then you have the Boston situation where they get swept by Boston. They try to reestablish conversation about the extension. Don't feel like they're getting the right just from the team. Right, from Joe Tsai and company, it gets extended. And then when they get this final offer, with the last year of the third year of the deal being stipulated upon the team winning a championship, they say, no, we can't do it. And that's when you had a report that came out, hey, we're not going to be together. Kyrie is going to be separated from the team, and here we have the trade. Mm-hmm. So I think it really stimulates from them not getting the contract extension.
Of course. I mean, like, to sum it up, dude wanted his money. He is among the very elite of the NBA. On the other hand, he has earned himself a reputation, whether you think fair or not, I say earned. He has a reputation, and I think it is deserved. To the extent to which it's deserved is another argument. But where, given his level of talent, he is not considered reliable. Is he going to be there? Will something come up? Is he going to feel like he doesn't want to play, like he's evolving into something other than a basketball player, like he doesn't want to get a shot, et cetera, et cetera. And therefore, they want to treat him not quite like an elite player.
But Max, sometimes the way you say things really matter.
Sure.
Because I said the headline. Once again, I'm just not sure people heard me. You give me a contract in NBA history where a year of your pay has been stipulated upon your team winning a championship.
It's the first I've heard of it.
It's unprecedented. You've never heard of it before in the history of basketball. It's a complete slap in the face. If you want to stipulate my contract based upon games played, okay. Like that's a separate conversation, right? Because if KD's not playing, if Ben Simmons isn't here playing the way we thought he was going to play, and I have to play 40 minutes a night, it increases my probability of injury while I'm carrying the team. So that's a separate conversation, but that's more respectable. Okay.
Yeah, you guys couldn't
60
make
games. Okay.
You guys couldn't make. You had Harden here. You don't have Harden here. You guys couldn't make the whole thing work. And now I'm going to lose money because if we don't win a champ, I get it. Yep.
It's not respectable at all, Jay. The fact that you want to stipulate and put some clause in my contract, whether it was the first year or the third year, if we go down because let's say I play the entire season and Ben Simmons doesn't play or KD gets hurt again in the playoffs or whatever the case may be, or he requests a trade or something along those lines come up, that third year to me is a waste of year.
There you go, Keith. And guess what?
Why do I have to put my future in their hands or my economics?
And guess
what if we have to fire another coach?
It makes you the most tradable asset there is. I can send you anywhere. What do you think? Any team wouldn't take that? Oh my goodness. If I'll take Kyrie Irving if the last year in the contract, it says right here in the contract, it's stipulated upon you win a championship or you don't get paid.
I mean, it basically, given how many teams there are and everything that, only one team can win, it's almost like an NFL contract when you see, oh, you got $150 million. How much is guaranteed? $80 million. So why are we reporting it as $150 when it's really 80, right? You could just take.
Sounds better, man.
Yeah, you could just take that extra money to win it just off the contract because the guaranteed money is not there, and it's unlikely that any team wins a championship in any given season.
You got so much more to say.
There's a lot going on, including why isn't Kyrie headed for the Lakers?
Hey.
Are we sure? Are we sure that this Dallas offer was better than the Lakers offer? What is going on? And what's next for KD?
I hope the Nets never win a championship ever.
888 say ESPN 729-3776. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
The Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
We're really just on Kevin Durant watch now, right? Attempting to win a title with the Nets. You have to show him that you are trying to improve the roster and for the health of the franchise. I think they're in a better place now.
This is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Wake up with Key, J. Will, and Max.
Nobody does LA mornings like KJM.
She asked me, can I cook? And I'm like, well, define cook. Can I cook a cheeseburger? Yeah. Can I put a steak on the grill? Yeah. But I'm not Chef J. Will out here.
But do you put, those hot cherry peppers in the cheeseburger? Do you hook it up?
Throw random seasoning on. Yeah. I go in my seasoning cabinet, just throw some things on it. But I ain't cooking like Key.
LA mornings with LA's own Keyshawn.
Monday morning till 10 a.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Let me guess. Unknown caller. You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Hi. Who's this?
Buzz. He appears whenever you eat Honey Nut Cheerios.
Like a genie?
Sure.
Ooh, does he grant wishes? I wish I lived in a giant boot. No, I wish I could swim with a humpback whale. No.
I can grant you a delicious bowl of High Nut Cheerios, which can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Ooh, with heart shapes, too.
Happy heart-shaped Cheerios are back for a limited time. Pick up a box of Honey Nut Cheerios at your local store for an easy, delicious, and heart-healthy start to your day.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon and Alateen
can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Transitioning out of the military, it's difficult. Just about everything around you changes. I would get phone calls that brothers were dying, some of them to suicide. And I'd found myself in another cold cemetery. And I started to wonder if I was next. It's a struggle to know that you're facing challenges, but not be ready to face them. Sleep doesn't come easy. And when it comes, it doesn't last long. You're tired all the time. I didn't reach out for that help, but thank God my wife did. She got me registered for Wounded Warrior Project. Talking to somebody that would listen to me and understood my story helped me realize that it was time to change. There's a new fight. There's a new mission, and that's something I am eternally grateful for.
See how we help warriors combat stigma at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max in the morning.
LA Sports Talk all day long. 710
ESPN.
The Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
We're really just on Kevin Durant watch now, right? Attempting to win a title with the Nets. You have to show him that you are trying to improve the roster and for the health of the franchise. I think they're in a better place now.
Jay Willimax, we are presented by Progressive Insurance. You had a question for Jay before we went to break.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, Jay, why would the Mavs, as I'm sitting and I'm thinking over this, why would the Mavs do this deal? Because Kyrie, essentially, it's not like, okay, so in football, they're not going to give up all these picks and assets and have a guy come to a team without getting a deal done, right, in football. So the Mavs
long-term extension, you mean?
Yeah, so the Mavs didn't get an extension done. Kyrie could be a free agent at the end of this season. Why would the Mavs do this without locking him up? Because essentially, as Max said, the Lakers didn't get this deal done. The Mavs kind of got it done, but the Lakers can do it once Westbrook comes off the books next offseason.
That's where he wants to go.
Well, because I think Mark Cuban is in a situation with Luka where you're trying to find any way to keep Luka there and happy and give him a chance to win a championship, even if it's in a one-year window. I mean, they made the move for Christian Wood. Christian Wood has not been the guy they thought he was going to be. So now you tell me that for the last half of the season, you have Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving.
With no defense.
They're ranked like 25th in defense. They're not going to play defense anyway. But you tell me a backcourt better than Luka and Kyrie Irving.
You know what? It really puts pressure on Luka to me, Jay, because when Harden was on the Nets and KD got hurt and it was just him and Kyrie said, here, you're the point guard, and Kyrie played off the ball, they were killing the game, just the two of them. Mm-hmm. Harden let his point total drop. Game is a lot like Luka's. Let his point total drop 20, 22 points a game, ton of assists. Kyrie was going nuts. They were killing teams in the Western Conference without KD. They were on a road trip. I remember they didn't play a lot together, but
Now it's on Luka. Can he do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, so Luka to me has always been a poor man's LeBron James, right? Like he is not as athletic as LeBron James, but more skilled at this stage of his game than LeBron James was. So you're telling me if he's a combination of scoring ability like James Harden, but has the passing ability and leadership aspects to a degree of like LeBron James, not saying leadership because I think LeBron's a way better leader and Luka's still learning how to lead. But we've already seen this script before with Kyrie and LeBron.
Yeah.
So it's the same exact thing. Kyrie plays off the ball. They're one of the top teams in the league in isolations per game. They double team Luka down the stretch. You can't double team Luka now when Kyrie's on the floor. It works out perfectly for the Mavs. And this is a year window where you go and you win a chip. You tell me a better year to win the West than this year was wide open.
You got to try it if you're Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But Jay, first of all, Jay mentioned the defenses in the bottom half of the league. In terms of where they're at defensively, you have to stop somebody. You still got to see guys like Ja. You still got to see guys in L.A. at the Clippers. I mean, there's teams that you got to see with players that can score points, Denver, so on and so on. But I was going to ask you, though, Jay, if you remember going back to when when the Nets put all this together with Harden and Kyrie and just put everything together, they hadn't played together. And it took them a while at times to get going. Now, I want to ask you, though, how can Kyrie and Luka just hit the ground running when they've never played together? Like, they haven't played together, so they don't know each other. This is different than maybe a LeBron James pickup ball or maybe a KD pickup ball. Him and Luka has never played together.
Yeah, but Key, you got one of the all-time best point guards to ever play the game coaching this team. You got Jason Kidd coaching this team. So
with two of the most skillful dudes you could possibly ask for.
I mean, so it's like just add that to the Holy Trinity. You know what I mean? Name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Like that is Jason Kidd, Kyrie Irving, and Luka Doncic. When you do the sign of the cross, I mean that's what that guard combination is. I don't think they're going to have a hard time. Combination. I don't think they're having a hard time at all because this same style in basketball in which Kyrie was playing now. James Harden was a guard, like ball dominant guard.
But you ever see like in the old days when AI and Vince Carter would be on the All-Star team, they just picked up and started looked like they
it's an All-Star team though. I'm just talking about continuity though.
Of course, Key, but you're right about that, of course. But at a certain level of skill which these guys are operating on, they should be able to figure this out before it would take another pair to figure it out, right? They should be. These dudes can't.
I personally would think that, but Jay played in the NBA, and so he would know more so than me if they could just pick up, hit the ground running, because they haven't been there. It just seems hard to me that they would be able to do that. They're going to lose a lot of time, before the playoffs trying to put the continuity together.
They ain't going to stop anyone, that's for sure, but they should be able to score, right?
I mean, look, if you, as a hooper though, Key, like if there's a certain skill set that I have as a scorer, a playmaker, right, and a dynamic handler, like that, those aren't hard aspects to combine to a team, right? Because Kyrie's already used to playing off the ball. He showed you could play off the ball with James Harden. They're a high isolation team. Kyrie's great in isolation, and Kyrie's also played before with a guy in LeBron James who got double teamed down the stretch, hence him making one of the biggest shots in Cleveland basketball history for them to win a world championship. So the foundation of it isn't going to be hard. Their communication will be a challenge, but
I guess that's not going to be hard. I guess it's true because I hit the ground running on our 2-on-2 with you.
There you go. We didn't play one possession.
This is going to be on Luka in the sense that, okay, Luka, like a lot of players at your level, you never really had to do it on your level on the team, right? Porzingis, but not exactly. Now,
Porzingis wasn't on his level.
No, right, of course. No. But I'm saying they went and got an all-star caliber, sort of. He's heard a lot. Now they went and got him like real game recognized game. They went and got him one of those guys to put with him. People are not going to remember what problems or style or you didn't hit the ground or whatever. They're going to remember you had that dude. What are you going to do with him? Pressure's on Luka now. Pressure is on him now. What are you going to do?
Got to win a chip, man. Got to win a chip.
I mean, if they chip, even if they win a couple playoffs, if they chip up, that's incredible.
So I mean, right now, if you're Mark Cuban,
but they try to chip up year one
for sure.
You have to do everything in your power to allow Jason Kidd to coach this team to get them to the highest peak performance as possible, because you're trying to lure Kyrie Irving to sign a long-term deal with your organization. and Luka Doncic. It's one of the biggest bets in NBA basketball history, and there's nobody better to take this bet than Mark Cuban, who's become a billionaire off taking bets like this, guys.
You got to. If you're a market,
you have to.
For whatever reason, Dallas has not been a magnet type market, right? So if you're in a market like that, and you have a player like Luka, even if the fit isn't perfect, when you have a blue chipper like Kyrie become available, you must roll the dice, or you're just going to be in limbo forever on the treadmill, never really making progress. Meantime, what does this mean for Kevin Durant? Is he going to ask out of Brooklyn? Nick Friedel, who we played you sound of Nick earlier, he's been covering the Nets. Nick Friedel suggested he could look at Golden State, and Golden State could look at him.
We're doing that already.
And think, listen, this works
already.
Jay, get on the phone.
Already, huh, Keith?
Could you imagine, even if it's in this offseason, Golden State reacquired, everything's your life's just, this is key what you were talking about. I like the risk he took by going to Brooklyn, but this is the thing about risk. It's not all upside. There's a downside. This was the downside of the risk. It was easy in Golden State. It was like the risk was not there the same way. You don't get as much credit in a certain way, but you win championships. Is that what's next for KD? 888-SAY-ESPN, 729-3776.
Phoenix Suns on line one.
The Nets plan to offer the picks acquired in the trade, as well as their 2027 first-round pick that they got from the Sixers, to improve the roster ahead of the Thursday trade deadline. That's what sources say. So they're going to flip it and try and get something else. We okay with KD asking for another trade? How everyone feel about that? 888-SAY-ESPN. After Key has this from Grainger.
For all the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions. We'll start over there. For all the ones who get it done, Grainger offers high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as access to product specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Plus, their commitment to being your safety partner can help you keep your facility safe and your people even safer. So simply just call or click Grainger.com or just stop by.
Woj reporting the Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
They still hope they can win, but the reality is you can't replace Kyrie.
Put themselves in a position to be the front runner.
Game. Davis became the first.
Facility safe and your people even safer. So simply just call or click Grainger.com or just stop by.
Woj reporting the Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
They still hope they can win, but the reality is you can't replace Kyrie.
Put themselves in a position to be the front runner.
Davis became the first.
Arby's new $5 loaded chicken bacon ranch mac and cheeses. Arby's, we have the meat.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
Oh, I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
We always believed the welcoming spirit was a small town thing. Turns out we were wrong. Wherever Jim Beam is welcome, you'll be welcome too.
You seen this app? Order sandwiches, earn rewards right on your phone.
Jimmy's John's is in the phones.
Jimmy John's.
They're in the TV. They're in the internet.
They're in the phones.
Jimmy John's. Join Freaky Fast Rewards. Earn free food.
You said close your eyes, don't look down. Fall into me.
Shop the Valentine's Day sale and save on everything. Only at Kay.
It's time for LeBron to take his seat as the all-time points king.
I'm light as a feather, yeah, baby, I float. It's hard to look at my resume and not find a reason to close. I'm counting my blessings, we ain't stressing, just look at this glow. I got that magic, I'm really prepared for whatever, whenever, so who wants to smoke?
It's Saturday primetime. Lakers, Warriors on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Chloe, je suis amoureux de toi.
Quoi?
Need help learning and speaking a new language? Try Babbel, the language learning app designed to help you have conversations in any situation.
Era.
Over 150 language experts designed Babbel to be the most effective way to learn a new language.
Je suis heureux. Je suis heureux.
15-minute lessons teach you everyday practical conversations you'll actually use.
Vous faites un beau couple. À votre santé. À votre santé.
Backed by science, Babbel uses a spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learn.
Chloé, je suis heureux pour toi. Tu étais destinée à être sa femme. À votre santé.
Babbel, real language lessons for real-world conversations. Go to Babbel.com now to start speaking in as little as 3 weeks.
Probably the most anticipated debut of any first-year athlete in any sport.
I'll be ball.
There's your first James Jam, first All-Star appearance. A virtuoso all-time great performance.
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach.
Let the coronation begin.
Cleveland, this is for you. You got to do it as a Laker. Then they respect you.
LeBron James leading the Lakers to a record-tying 17th title.
The best teacher in life is experience. So I've learned a lot over the years.
You've been a threat for 2 decades now. Just thinking back to some of your most memorable regular season buckets, when I say your time as a Cavalier, what stands out?
Love, long outlet pass to LeBron. He makes the catch. He steps behind the line. Turnaround 3 on the way. Oh, he banked it in! LeBron James banked it in!
Oh, yeah. In Washington, that was incredible.
In Miami.
Wade finds James!
The lobs from D Wade, but also when the silencer hit the nation in the world.
Yes! LeBron James has done it with a tenth of a second left!
And now with the Lakers.
I mean, I've hit so many memorable shots here as a Laker. Hitting the game winner versus the Clippers. That was big time.
Got his own miss and puts it up and in!
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had 6 NBA MVPs, 6 championships, yet he'll still often sign sports memorabilia with the number 38,387. Among all your accomplishments, where will the scoring title rank?
I don't know. I don't know because I have not set out to do that. It wasn't like a goal of mine when I entered the league, making an all-star team, being Rookie of the Year, being first team all NBA, first team on defense, winning a championship for sure, being an MVP of the league.
Set to shoot on the reset. Picked up his dribble. Fournier to start it up. Weaving inside to skip to the crowd. Corner 3. Knocks it down. Deuce McBride with the triple. Fournier with the big assist. And the Knicks bench delivers huge tonight. 3:20 left. It's 98-90. Knickerbockers with the lead against Philadelphia.
That's how it sounded on 98.7 ESPN New York as the Knicks overcame an early 21-point deficit to beat the 76ers 108-97. Julius Randle led the Knicks with 24 points, 9 boards, and 7 assists. Trey Murphy III had a season-high 30 points to lead the Pelicans to a 136-104 win over the Kings. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. Next, Pascal Siakam scored 19, including a pair of free throws with 9 seconds left, and the Raptors rallied from a 15-point deficit to beat the Grizzlies 106-103. Sports Center is brought to you by Nature Valley. Nature Valley wants to see you and your family out there. When we share our love for out there, we inspire others to protect it. And that's what getting out there is all about. Nature Valley. Life happens out there.
Woj reporting the Brooklyn Nets are trading Kyrie Irving to the Dallas Mavericks.
They still hope they can win, but the reality is you can't replace Kyrie Irving. The Mavs have put themselves in a position to be the front runner in the Western Conference. The drama has become too overwhelming.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio. ESPN 2 till 8 a.m. Eastern, ESPN U till 10 a.m. Eastern, Sirius XM Channel 80, and you can click more on the lower right-hand corner of the ESPN app. Scroll down to live radio. You are not tethered to your car. You take us with you anywhere live. You can download the podcast. You can listen on your smart speaker. Say, play ESPN Radio, and we are presented by Progressive Insurance. And join now by Frank Isola, Yes Network, Sirius XM, NBA Radio, and ESPN Around the Horn, and PTI. What's going on, Frank?
I was going to say the same thing. You know what? Frankie, baby.
I turn on the TV today. I'm expecting to see you guys from sunny Arizona. I figured probably Keyshawn has a massage ready at some spa in a few hours. I guess you guys didn't want to wake up at 1 in the morning.
No, don't put that on us. Don't put that on us, Frank. We would like to be.
It's an interesting conversation that we must have in the future offline.
Yeah, we'll talk offline.
I hear you.
Hey, what's your initial reaction to the Kyrie trade, Frank?
Yeah, I thought Saturday night I was doing the game, and the way everything was shaping up, it sounded like something was going to happen before Thursday. And I think the Nets have reached the point with Kyrie. To his credit, I think coming back from the suspension that he was on, I thought he played as well as anybody in the league. It really was the best basketball he played with the Brooklyn Nets. So from his standpoint, why would you want to negotiate a contract and say, see, I'm still one of the best players? And I think from the Nets standpoint, clearly they have to protect themselves. You guys showed the stat before. I think it was 156 games played, 142 games missed. That's the biggest thing with Kyrie Irving, whether it's injury, illness, suspension, vaccination status, personally, he just misses too many games. So I think ultimately for the Nets, I think they said, now's the time to do something. We weren't going to get a lot from over the summer. Remember, Kyrie had the option last summer to go somewhere. Not a lot of teams had money. The Nets weren't going to work at a sign and trade. So I think the Nets figured, you know what, let's get something for him now, and we'll just part ways and finalize this divorce.
Look, Frank, it feels like to me they had this in the workings already. He just pushed it along before the trade deadline. But in the back room, it just felt like, based on what my colleague Jay Will told me about the 3-year 140 with the third year not fully guaranteed, based on winning a championship, which was utterly ridiculous to me as an athlete, that they had already known that he was going to balk on that deal. So they had already said, you know what, let's start moving these pieces around. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I also think both sides kind of covering themselves. Are you making a serious offer when you're making something like that? Maybe not. And I also think a lot of this stuff coming out now about what other teams, were willing to offer the Nets, I think that's out there to try to make the Nets look bad. I think it kind of tells you where the relationship had gone. And, if you go back to late October, early November, when the whole thing happened with the tweet that he sent out, well, sitting here wondering, what is Kyrie's immediate future right now with the Brooklyn Nets? Where is he going to be in the NBA? And to his credit, he came back and he played well. But it's really, again, it's only a 2-month window that he had here. And he was great. There's no question about it. The leading scorer in the NBA in the fourth quarter, and I understand that the Nets had struggled a bit without Kevin Durant there. But if you go back to the game he had against Utah on the road, the game that he had against Golden State on the road, the games that they were winning, he was carrying them. So you're going to them and saying you want money, but I understand it from the Nets standpoint. With Kyrie, let's face it, again, brilliant player, but with Kyrie, it's always something, and that always something equals missed games. It's a lot of missed games over 3.5 years.
Frank, interesting, when we talk about there always being something. So I just want to get your opinion on something. So when, the Hebrews to Negroes tweet got reposted, right? That was up for a couple of days and nobody really said anything. It didn't really catch a lot of traction until Joe Tsai made a tweet about it, almost saying they do not stand for anti-Semitism. So just understanding two alpha males, how would you describe the relationship between Joe Tsai and Kyrie Irving ultimately when it came to a head and Kyrie asked to be traded?
I can't imagine that's great. And I had heard a story that, last year when they were in training camp in San Diego, that originally Kyrie said he was going to get the vaccine, and then I guess it was the next day or 2 days later, he told them, you know what, on second thought, I'm not going to get it, which again, that's his decision. I can't imagine the relationship was great. And Jay, you also know this, the one thing about the tweet, so that was a Saturday night where it really blew up, and that was Nick Friedel, and you guys are going to have Nick on, so you could ask him about it. You know, Nick was pressing him on the questions, and Kyrie was going back at him. I think if the league had stepped in at that point, and on Sunday just had a meeting with Kyrie, and I think by Monday, if Kyrie had just settled the whole thing, it would have been over with. The fact that it extended, then he had the press conference where he was kind of defiant, and this is where it made no sense. Eventually, he issued the apology. Eventually, he deleted the tweet after everything had blown up, and he had dragged his own kind of reputation through the mud. It was needless. It was pointless at that time. But I understand the way Kyrie is. He has, strong beliefs. He doesn't like to be always told what to do. But in that case, that's something where I thought in the long run he kind of hurt himself, where the whole thing could have been over in just a couple of days. And I'm going to blame the Nets for that a little bit. I'm going to blame the league for that a little bit. And I got to blame Kyrie Irving for that.
Frank Isola, Around the Horn panelist, joining us here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Frank, what's next up for KD? I mean, we were sitting here talking about it. If you're Kevin Durant, Sean Marks went from Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, now to Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, and picks. What the hell do you do if you're KD?
Well, I kind of feel like Kevin Durant, in a strange way, is in a win-win situation because I'm pretty sure the timing was Kyrie Irving opted into his contract last year, and then it was the next day or 2 days later where Kevin Durant requested a trade. So Kevin Durant, I think he obviously respects Kyrie Irving as a player. Did he get a little tired of maybe the not playing and things like that, where Kevin Durant could be in a situation where he's saying, you know what, let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can make some moves and still make a run for this. Or Kevin Durant could be in a situation, could it happen between now and Thursday? Perhaps could happen during the offseason where he goes to the Nets and says, let's try to work out a trade. Remember, two things here with Kyrie Irving. If the Nets had not worked out the contract extension with Kyrie and had not traded him by Thursday, who knows what would have happened with Kyrie. There were stories out there that he would sit out the rest of the season, which obviously he would get suspended for that. He wouldn't get paid. We knew that Kevin Durant, despite all the stuff that Kevin Durant does, going at people on Twitter, and he likes to have some fun with that. The fact that he asked for a trade, I always thought that once the game started, Kevin Durant was not going to be a problem, and Kevin Durant was a problem for the opposition. The guy is an unbelievable player. He's a big-time leader out there. He does all it takes to win. I understand right now that he's hurt, so I think maybe the Nets were a little bit worried with that. But I think Kevin Durant, during the offseason, he's still in the contract for 3 years. It's still, for me, one of the most underrated stories from a couple of summers ago when Kevin Durant opted in or signed a 4-year extension. And Kyrie at the time was offered the same thing. He decided not at that time to sign it. In the long run, that would have been the smart thing for him to do because he's not getting that contract, and maybe he'll end up on the Lakers. But he wanted to be on the Lakers last summer. It didn't work out. We know that he wanted to be on the Lakers right now, and it didn't work out. I know he gets to play with a guy like Luka, but you're playing with Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. And you were playing right near your home in West Orange, New Jersey. You're in New York. You're not going to L.A. Instead, you're going to Texas.
For now.
That's fine.
We'll be in Texas for a few months.
Frank.
So Frank, here's the $100+ million question. And I'm going to ask you to remove yourself from Frank Isola and put yourself into the head of Kevin Durant. If you're Kevin Durant, you're coming back off multiple injuries over the last couple of years. You're 34 years old. Do you entrust your career for the next 3 years to Sean Marks?
I think if I'm in it with him, if I'm trying to figure it out, I still think you could do something. I think Sean Marks has made good moves. Remember, Kevin Durant was not at the game. He's not sitting on the bench on Saturday. Now, is that a protest, or did you take? I took it as he's probably sitting with Josiah and Sean Marks trying to figure this out. If I were Kevin Durant, if he were going to leave, and I know you guys mentioned the Warriors, which of course would work, should go play with Nikola Jokic. How much fun would that be, seeing Nikola Jokic and Kevin Durant playing together? With his passing ability, both two unselfish players. I think Kevin Durant, again, I think he's in a really good position because he's played great this year when he has been available prior to the injury. I think he'll play great when he comes back. And if he doesn't like the team that they're on, I'm sure he's going to go to them. I'm sure he'll do it quietly this time and say, let's try to do something over the summer. And, you can get some assets for me. Let me move on to a team where I can win a championship.
Frank Isola, ladies and gentlemen. Yes Network, Sirius XM, NBA Radio, ESPN Around the Horn, PTI. Thanks, Frank. Always good talking to you, man.
All right, Frankie.
Good talking to you guys.
Frankie, baby.
Frankie, baby.
So the Lakers missed out for now.
Yeah, baby.
On Kyrie. Yeah, Lakers ain't doing anything this year anyway.
Who
They're
cares?
just gonna get their ducks in a row.
Relax.
They're going to get their ducks in a row for the offseason. Westbrook comes off the books. Kyrie's a free. You know, we'll talk about that later. But where do the Lakers turn next at this moment? Keyshawn J. Willimax, ESPN Radio.
When 13-year-old Monet Davis first took the mound at the 2014 Little League World Series, she had already made history as the first African-American girl to play in the tournament. But what she did next really changed the game. Davis became the first girl ever to pitch a shutout and earn a win at the Little League World Series. That day, baseball was introduced to the young woman from Philly with braids swinging under her cap, named Monet.
Black History Always. Celebrating Black History Month on ESPN Radio.
This week is your chance to try any Subway footlong for free. Like the Subway Series menu. Just buy any footlong in the app and get one free. Free Monsters, free Bosses, any footlong for free. This guy loves a great offer. So let's see some hustle.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
This is live from PS5.
Historic scenes unfolding in San Francisco.
Eloy is the first of her tribe to have laid eyes on this scene in over 2,000 years.
This was live from PS5.
PlayStation.
Oh, I'll have another. Make it a double.
Dad, Mom thinks she's at a resort again.
Yeah, she told me.
When you'd rather not resort to a virtual resort,
This is much better in real life.
it matters where you stay.
Looking good, babe.
Hilton for the stay. Because your life